Why Jean-Luc Picard kept TNG's Captain Picard Day banner despite hating it. On the surface, the idea of Captain Picard Day in Star Trek: The Next Generation seems like a simple, almost celebratory gag. A cheerful banner strung across the promenade, heralding the achievements of Starfleet's most dignified captain. But for fans who've studied Picard's character over 7 seasons, it's one of those small, oddly telling details that reveals the subtle tension between his public persona and private feelings. Behind the pomp and fanfare, Picard's decision to tolerate the banner, even while quietly despising it, is an exquisite study in restraint, professionalism, and the quietly heroic act of maintaining morale. Picard is, at his core, a man of principle. He is erudite, cultured, and intensely private. He reads poetry, enjoys archaeology, and prefers the measured cadence of diplomacy over the boisterous cheer of fanfare. Any display that draws attention to himself, especially one as blatant as a banner proclaiming a single day in his honor, flies in the face of everything he values about humility and leadership. Yet, the banner remains. Why? The answer lies not in vanity, but in Picard's understanding of the symbolic power of ritual and the subtle psychology of those around him. First, consider the crew of the Enterprise D. Picard's leadership style is predicated on trust, mutual respect, and the cultivation of a familial bond among officers. To outright reject the banner would be to dismiss the crew's efforts and, in a sense, to undermine the morale they're trying to build. Starfleet officers spend long hours in high-stress, sometimes life-threatening situations. Small gestures, celebratory banners, commendations, informal ceremonies serve as emotional anchors in the otherwise sterile environment of a starship. By keeping the banner, Picard acknowledges not only the crew's intention, but their emotional investment. He tolerates something personally distasteful because it matters to the people he leads. That is leadership at its most subtle and human, prioritizing the emotional welfare of others over one's own comfort. There is also a tactical dimension. Picard is a diplomat, a strategist, and a keen observer of human and alien behavior. The banner, though ostensibly trivial, is a visual reinforcement of hierarchy and morale. In moments of interstellar tension or conflict, symbols matter. A captain who accepts respect graciously, even when uncomfortable, projects stability, confidence, and authority. The banner communicates to both the crew and visiting dignitaries that the captain's leadership is valued and that the ship is united. Rejecting it might appear petty or insecure. Keeping it, on the other hand, demonstrates magnanimity. Picard does not need outward accolades, but he does not deny them to preserve harmony and order. Then there is the psychological subtlety of Picard himself. Throughout TNG, Picard is often portrayed as stoic, composed, and somewhat aloof. He dislikes being the center of attention, but he also understands that his discomfort can be a tool for subtle guidance. By silently enduring the banner, he models restraint for his officers. He shows them how to accept honor with dignity, how to place communal needs above personal vanity, and how to tolerate the quirks of those around you. It's a lesson in leadership that speaks louder than any verbal instruction ever could. Picard's toleration of the banner also reflects a deeper, almost Shakespearean complexity, the coexistence of private disdain with public duty. He does not destroy the banner, throw a tantrum, or even ask for it to be removed. Instead, he integrates it into the life of the ship, allowing the gesture to exist in its own right. It's an acknowledgement that the universe does not revolve around him, even if everyone else momentarily celebrates him. This internal negotiation, the dance between personal preference and collective responsibility, is a defining characteristic of Picard's captaincy. He accepts minor indignities for the sake of a larger mission, showing viewers that heroism is as much about temperament as it is about bold action. There is also an element of humor, though understated. Picard's private disdain for the banner is a reminder that even the most serious, composed individuals encounter absurdities in daily life. He maintains a poker face tolerance, yet fans of the series can imagine the slight twitch of an eyebrow or the tiny roll of the eyes behind his spectacles. This humanizes him, reminding viewers that no one is immune to the petty inconveniences and comedic foibles of life, even a Starfleet captain. In the end, the Captain Picard Day banner is not merely a set decoration. It is a narrative device that underscores multiple facets of Picard's character. It embodies his selflessness, his strategic mind, his understanding of symbolism, and his tolerance for the foibles of human and alien nature. He hates it, yes, but that hatred is private. Publicly, he honors it by simply allowing it to exist, demonstrating that leadership is less about personal preference and more about serving others, maintaining morale, and preserving dignity. The banner may flutter innocently across the promenade of the Enterprise D, but for those who look closely, it tells a story about a captain who is as human as he is heroic. Picard's ability to keep the banner